Or the time that Jessie had smashed the ceramic heart that Daddy had given her because she was so mad that he had left them. And then, when she had cried about her broken heart, Evan had glued every single last piece back together again. She wanted back the Evan who was her best friend, but Evan didn't even want her because he thought she was a baby and she was going to embarrass him in Mrs. Overton's class. So she had to prove to him that she was a big kid, that she could keep up with the crowd, that she could fit in, even with his fourth grade class. I'll show him I can sell lemonade too, just as good as him and Scott, and I won't embarrass him. So Jessie got down to business. She knew she needed a partner. From past experience, she'd learned that having a lemonade stand alone wasn't considered cool. It was considered pathetic. And her partner would have to be a fourth grade girl, because that's what this was all about, showing that she could fit in with fourth graders. So the question was who? It had to be a girl who lived in the neighborhood, or at least close enough to bike to her house, and it had to be someone that Jessie had talked to at least once. No way could she call up a girl she'd never even talked to. And it had to be someone who seemed nice. This last part was a problem, because Jessie knew that she often thought people were nice, and then they turned out to be not nice. Case in point, those second grade girls. So Jessie decided it had to be someone who Evan thought was nice. Evan knew about these things. He was the one who had explained, with his big arm around her shoulder, "Jessie, those girls are making fun of you. They are not nice." When Jessie thought about all these different requirements, there was only one obvious answer: Megan Moriarty. She lived less than 3 blocks down the street. Jessie had said hi to her a few times while biking in the neighborhood, and Evan must have thought she was nice because Jessie had found a piece of paper in his trash can with Megan's name written all over it. Why would he cover a page with her name if he didn't think she was a nice person? Jessie went to the kitchen and climbed onto a stool so that she could reach the cabinet over the stove. She took down the school phone book and looked through the listings for both of last year's third grade classes. No Megan Moriarty. Duh, Jessie remembered. She'd moved in halfway through the school year. With a sinking heart, Jessie checked the town phone book. No Moriarty family listed on Damon Road. Okay, said Jessie, slapping the phone book shut and putting it back in the cabinet over the stove. Time for Plan B. Jessie went to the hall closet and got out her backpack, which had been hanging there empty since the last day of school. Inside, she put 3 cans of frozen lemonade from the freezer and her lockbox full of change. She put the $10 bill, still paperclipped to last year's birthday card from her grandmother, in her top desk drawer. Then she went off to the garage, strapped on her helmet, and rode off on her bike. As she left the driveway, she could see Evan and Scott's lemonade stand on the corner, but she was careful not to make eye contact. She didn't want to talk to Evan until she was ready to, ta-da, impress him. Her heart leaped when she imagined him ditching Scott to be with her. Megan's house was so close that Jessie got there in less than 30 seconds. And less than 30 seconds wasn't nearly long enough for her to plan what she was going to say. So she rode back and forth in front of the house about 15 times, trying to pick the right words. "What are you doing?" a voice shouted from the upstairs window. Jessie slammed her foot brakes and looked up. Megan was staring down at her. She looked huge. Her voice did not sound nice. "Riding my bike," said Jessie. "But why are you riding back and forth?" asked Megan impatiently. "In front of my house." "I don't know," said Jessie. "You want to play?" "Who are you?" asked Megan. "Jessie," said Jessie, pointing down the street toward her house. "Evan's little sister?" asked Megan. Jessie felt like a deflating balloon. "Yeah." "Oh," said Megan. "I couldn't tell because of the helmet." Jessie took off her helmet. "So you wanna?" she asked. There was a long pause. "Where's Evan?" asked Megan. "He's out somewhere with a friend," said Jessie. "Oh," said Megan. Jessie looked down at the ground. "People tell you things," Evan had told her once, "with their hands and their faces and the way they stand. It's not just what they say. You gotta pay attention, Jess. You gotta watch for the things they're saying, not with their words." Jessie looked back up. It was hard to see Megan at all. She was so far up and behind the window screen. Jessie sucked in her breath. "Do you want to do something?"